Welcome back, guys. We're here for our Madden 23 Week 17 Owner Mode news episode. Let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into talking about what happened last game out. So as we take a look over the box score and the general stats of the team, this game couldn't have gone any better than it did. Everything we needed to accomplish, we got done. We saw dominance from our starters. We saw good play from our backups. Just an incredible game. Let's go over some of the key ones for the team as a whole. Offensive yards total, we nearly doubled them, honestly. Great game. Actually, am I stupid? We did double them. We more than doubled them. We'd love that. Offensive rushing yards, 260 yards on the ground is insanity. They did do us in passing yards, but only by 7, and passing wasn't our priority. We'll talk about that in a little bit. First downs, a massive discrepancy. Punt return and kick return yards, huge. We'll talk about why that's so huge. Total yards, dominated. They had 3 turnovers. We had 0. Won that battle. Converted on third down more, and we had a 4th down conversion. Just incredible game. Everything we needed out of it. And let's go to the player-specific stats. So, let's talk about passing first off. Davis Mills is doing the job we need of him. 103 yards, 1 touchdown. The reason that number is so low, first off, let's not pass by it. 0 interceptions. We love that. The reason that number is so low is because we subbed the entire starting lineup out after the first half. We were up so big. We were up by 35 points at the half, which is massively huge. So we did the business in the first half, got to rest all of our starters in the second half, prevent the injuries, and look forward to this upcoming week, which is the huge game we're worried about. Anyways, we are here. Davis Mills, he only had to try to have 10 pass attempts on the day. Completed 7 of them. Monster day. We love that we only have to give him that much. If we can do that in the playoffs, that might lead to some key wins. That means Josh Rosen got the entire second half. He had 46 yards. And even for him, he didn't throw the ball too much. He had 8 attempts, 5 completions, and a touchdown. A solid day. Trevor Lawrence, for them, though, we locked him down. 129 yards on the day. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rushing, Dameon Pierce, 1 half of football. He had 113 yards on 12 carries. That's 9.4 on a carry. 2 touchdowns. No fumbles. We love to see that. And then Dare, our boy, Ogunbowale, he comes in. We love him. He's definitely not good enough to be part of the starting lineup yet, but he's making a believer out of us every time we put him in this garbage time. He got the entire second half, 82 yards, 7.5 a carry, 4 broken tackles. Massive. The leading rusher for them was Trevor Lawrence scrambling. He had 5 for 33, 6.6 each time he took off. Royce Freeman was 3 for 26. And we had James Robinson 10 for 18. He really got nothing going on the day. For receiving, Laviska Shenault for them got 4 for 49. A lot of these numbers are going to be skewed for the Jaguars because they were playing an entire half of football against backups. But even then, these numbers are pitiful. They're not good. Marlon Mack had 3 catches for 30 yards. A running back leading us in receiving because we didn't throw the ball that much. Deshaun Jackson 1 for 29. And Christian Kirk had 4 for 25. But like I said, this was a run game entire day. And it worked out well. Sacks. Charlie Heck did let up 2. He was taken over for an injury to Titus Howard, who also let up 1. We're going to take a look at that. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. We also let up a sack by A.J. Cann. Jacksonville let up 2 as well with Jawan Taylor and Brandon Scherf. Defense, though, continues to be massive for us. So, we had Trayvon Walker with 10 total tackles leading the day, backed up by Kamu Grugier-Hill, Shaquille Griffin, Foyesade Luakan. Tackles for loss. Josh Allen had 3. We'll talk about why he had 3. Kamu Grugier-Hill had 2. Desmond King had 1. Andrew Winger had 1. A whole list of them. Sacks on the day. Josh Allen had 3. 2 of them back-to-back on the same drive to force us to a 3-and-out. Big play by him. DeJuan Smoot had 1. Jonathan Grenard had 1. And Malik Collins had 1. So we definitely got after the quarterback. Josh Allen also got in on us a few times. Interceptions. Kamu Grugier-Hill had 1. An awful ball. Honestly, awful. Lawrence was pressured. Just decided to throw it up. And it got nowhere. Same thing for Eric Murray. He tossed the ball under pressure, way off the mark, and we got the easy interception there. He got 17 yards out of that return, but that's really not what his standout was today. I'm sorry, not his standout. There was another player that stood out. If we talk about Where is it at? Forced fumbles. Jerome Baker forced one on the day. And then Desmond King, the man who had 2 interceptions a week ago in garbage time, one of them going for a pick 6, picks up the football, takes it 27 yards to take it all the way to the house for the touchdown. Monster. He may only be our 3rd string corner. He may be not that important to this defense, many may think. But if he's getting into a rhythm now, right with the playoffs right around the corner, not to mention playoffs, the biggest game of our entire season in this regular season finale coming up, that is huge. If we talk about kicking really fast, we're going to Kai Fairburn. He continues to be automatic for us, 2 for 2. The longest moment for 42, so that was a monster kick. And 6 for 6 extra points. That's right, we scored 6 times. That's massive. Mason Crosby, he had 1 for 1. The only points they scored on the day. Punting, we're not going to talk about that. But kick returning, we do have to talk about. How do you set the tone in your last home game of the season, knowing they got to dominate the first half, get out of there to avoid injuries? Kez Watkins decides opening kickoff of the game, taking it to the house. Massive day, 103-yard kick return from his own end zone, all the way for the touchdown. It was electric. Now that we've talked about our game, let's take a look around the league for some game results that happened in Week 17. And the first thing that I think I want to talk about right here, as we are pushing closer to the playoffs, which are just a week away, we know how close the entire NFL is, but the AFC for certain has been super close. And one of the key matchups was an AFC North rivalry, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Baltimore picked up a huge win, 38-10. And if I had to guess, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day for Lamar Jackson. If we go to rushing, did he have a massive part there? He did, 50 yards and a touchdown. Massive. They dominated, went away with the win. That is huge for them. If we look to Miami, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Miami, interesting for them. So, AFC East battle, right? We know both these teams are pushing for the playoffs. Patriots are actually the number 1 team in the AFC East right now, which is crazy. I never thought they would be there, especially without Tom Brady or any of their big playmakers. But they lost to the Miami Dolphins. And if you guys forget, weeks ago, we traded them Brandon Cooks. And maybe he had an impact in this game because Tua had 385 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Mac Jones had 400 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick though. Rushing, Chase Edmonds had 72. 4 yards carry. Myles Gaskin put up a touchdown in the run game. Mac Jones also scrambled for 1. Definitely wouldn't expect that out of him. But receiving, Jacoby Myers, 167 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, we know he's a monster. 130 yards on 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. Massive. Nelson Aguilar, 115. That's actually kind of crazy for him. But Brandon Cooks, the guy we traded them, he wanted out. He didn't know what he was missing out on for this team. 6 catches, 104 yards, 17.3 a catch. Massive day. His longest one went for 32. So consistently just great plays all day long. But the game we really need to talk about, we saw it going this way from the very beginning. The Indianapolis Colts, the team we are facing this upcoming week. Let's take a moment to talk about their game. They went up against the New York Giants. We know the Giants are not great. We took them down. The Colts went in to New York and they took them down dominantly, put up points early, and then let them have a little bit of fun at the end, but they came away with the win. If I had to guess, it was probably the run game. Yeah, it looks like it was the run game that took over. Turnovers were pretty close too. Time of possession, they dominated. They dominated time of possession. If we look at the player stats, Nick Foles. Oh, so Matt Ryan got hurt in the game? Oh, it looks like it was a minor injury because he was out and then went back in. He had 188 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Daniel Jones had 216, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, though. He ate 3 sacks on the day. Nick Foles had a 14-yard pass, which was good for him. Rushing, Jonathan Taylor, 1,909, 5.7 carry. Nyheim Hines, the backup, even did well, 44 yards on 14 carries and a touchdown. And Darrell Henderson for the Giants also had a touchdown. Matt Ryan scrambling for a touchdown? He's way too old to be doing that. But another win, and we knew it would come down to this. The last game of the year. We are looking to win the AFC South. to get that first round bye. A lot of things could change in this last week, but let's talk about the playoff picture right now before we get ahead of ourselves. Before we get to the playoff picture, let's talk about this. The AFC is so hyper competitive right now that us and the Colts are the only two teams that have clinched the playoffs. Now, right here, it's saying that they've clinched the first round bye. That's not right. That can't be right, because if we were to win, that would put us at 12-4-1, and they would be at 12-5, which would mean we would have the upper hand. So I don't think that's right. But like we said, nothing is promised here for any of the other teams of the AFC. This last week could be wild. A lot of teams could lose their spot to a lot of upcoming wildcard teams. But we know, as we go look at the playoff picture, this game is deciding so much. We've talked about it for weeks. We've anticipated it. The playoff picture. Colts still the number 1 seed. A win today, and not only gets us the number 1, not only wins us the AFC South, gets us the number 1 seed and the first round bye, unless I'm wild and I don't understand how math works. But that is huge. If we take a look at some of the other teams, number 2, we saw the Ravens with that big win. They look like they're in prime position. But the Raiders have the AFC West right now. And the Chiefs, we thought they were down and out, especially after our game. They've scraped back, gotten into that number 7 spot of the wild card, which could be a huge game. Bengals are also in there as well. And like we said, the Patriots still have that AFC East, but the Dolphins are right on their heels. So this could be a crazy week. Over on the NFC side, we have the Saints with the first round bye. I can't remember, honestly, how the NFC's been. Eagles and Cardinals is looking like the matchup there. It looks like the winner of the NFC East right now is the Commanders, which is very surprising. Eagles turned out the worst out of that division. That's making the playoffs, I should say, but that is wild. So very, very interesting breakdown. So now we are at the time of the week where we're going to talk about players we're looking to re-sign, and now comes in a lot of the veteran free agents we signed to help mentor our players. First things first, Jeff Driscoll, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let him walk. Give him that opportunity. Now we have Chris Harris Jr., Deshaun Jackson, and Kyle Rudolph. Chris Harris Jr. does not have a ton of interest staying with this team. He's a very good corner for us. What is he asking for? He's asking for 7.3 salary, 4.7 bonus. 1 year. Do we want to do that? He is one of our better corners, but we could probably grab something better, and he's gonna regress. He's getting older. You know what? I say we make the fair play. We're gonna let him know this is a championship run for him. Hopefully he can get it. If not, take the walk. Now, Deshaun Jackson. Coming into this year, I did not think that we would be giving him anywhere, keeping him here for any reason. But he's been so good. He's been a deep threat for us. He's helped develop Kes Watkins as well. He's going to regress. He only wants a 1-year deal. We're going to bump those numbers down a little bit. Will he stay? Nothing is right about this deal except for the length. Okay, we got a little bit greedy. It's okay. We still got time to negotiate with you. Kyle Rudolph, 32 years old. He has been a great number 2 for Brevin Jordan to help develop him. I say let's cut down the salary and the bonus slightly, see if I'll take it. Yes, okay. All right, so we signed him for another 2 years as well. So at the end of that deal, I think that's going to be the end of it. But the only person we are looking to keep is Deshaun Jackson. We can talk about that later on. Our focus now is going to be this upcoming game. We are on the road heading into Indianapolis. Can we come away with a win? It's time to find out. Before we do that, we have some media questions. It's been a long time since we've done that. Deshaun Jackson in the final year of his contract and has turned down your contract offers to this point. So how far apart do you think both sides are now? All right, the first answer, well, I'd like to think we're not too far apart. So while we haven't found common ground yet, we'll continue to negotiate and get there. Honestly, I'm not sure how far apart we are. Honestly, don't know. I'm going to go with this first one. Per game after sign. Okay, that's good. We're not really worried about that. This is probably a good time to talk about it with you guys while we answer the other one. Obviously, Madden 24 is out. And obviously, I had a bigger idea of this, but we took a lot of time off. I thought it was going to go a lot longer. But now that we have this whole rhythm down, I think our next one is going to be massive. Madden 24, I am so excited about it. I think I've hit my stride. I know exactly how I want to do things, and I think we can push out a lot of episodes and keep it going for a while, for the entire life of the game, until I don't feel like it anymore. I'll be honest with you. But I think it's going to be really exciting. I hope you guys are ready for it, but stay tuned with me for this massive playoff run. Hopefully we can make it all the way, but we'll see. Kyle Rudolph in the final year of his contract has turned down your contract offers. Might as well go for the best because we signed him. I will say owner mode I don't think is the way to go for next year. I think we might go with a coach or something because it definitely needs to be revamped, and I don't think they did that. But now, since I got ahead of myself before, now is the time we look forward to this game with everything on the line. Let's see what we can do. First look at our injury report. No injuries to worry about. We've been very good about that. Only minor ones here and there. They have a right guard out with a dislocated shoulder, but I don't think that's going to affect the game. We are not going to have the help we had in the season opener with Jonathan Taylor out. So let's take a look at the roster, see what we are taking on. So we know most of this team already, but we will take the time to talk about it. Matt Ryan up to an 84. So we have seen this team before, but we'll take the time to look over at Matt Ryan, a great veteran quarterback for them to lead the way. Jonathan Taylor has been an absolute beast. Nyheim Hines has also done a great job backing him up as well. At tight end, they have Jelani Woods. Receivers, Michael Pittman Jr., young stud, Paris Campbell, and Kike. Not crazy, but we saw when we played them, they can do some crazy things if you give them the opportunity. Mo Ali Coxon is the tight end. I'm sorry, Jelani Woods is playing as their fullback, which is a very interesting call. For the line, they have Dilliard, Quentin Nelson in monster guard, Ryan Kelly. On the other side, they have Darrell Williams and Braden Smith on the right tackle position. So a solid O-line. Defensive, they have Yannick Ngakoue off the right end. Off the left end. Kwity Paye is coming off the right side. On the defensive tackles, they have DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Eric Johnson. Their D-line is dominant. Shaquille Leonard is the left outside linebacker. Bobby Okereke and JoJo Damon on the inside. And then Malik Reed on the right side. The corners, they have Stephon Gilmore, Kenny Moore, Isaiah Rogers. Julian Blackman as the free safety. Strong safety is Rodney McLeod. Kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship. Rigoberto Sanchez as their punter. So, monster defense. And they're really good at the place we don't need them to be. They're really good on the defensive line. They're going to be great at shutting down the run, and that is our success. So, how do we play this? It's going to be time to find out. So, as many of you probably guessed, we're going to go pretty simple. Our game plan is going to be to stop the inside runs, stop Jonathan Taylor. On the offensive side, they want us to throw it deep, which is what I was thinking with this D-line, but I don't know what the call is here. They go with a lot of zone. They blitz quite a bit. Let's go blitz counter. I like that. I'm assuming they're going to send heat. Hopefully we can ride it out. Let's take a look at player health real quick as we especially get near the playoffs. Our team is very great on fatigue, which is kind of crazy. But now let's talk about the game goals for this game. All right, so the goals. Head coach Lovie Smith has said, let's win the turnover battle. When you get in big games like this, that is the key to success. Winning the turnover battle, especially with the two of us that are so evenly matched, that is going to be the key. Our offensive coordinator said 250 plus offensive yards is the goal, and I can agree with that. Right on par with what we usually do. And defensive coordinator said allow 20 points or less. If we can do that, we're in a great shot to win this game. And I've said let's allow 2 or less passing touchdowns. That's not the key to their offense. If we can prevent that, we can get away from the easy stuff. We can't let them run the ball on us. We cannot let them pass the ball on us. And coming out of practice, we do have a few upgrades. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about them. Philip Dorsett, we saw improvement from him. A lot of the second unit got a lot better. Kenyon Green is a very good one, a young pass protector for us. So it's great to see him getting better. And Lynn Bowden Jr., we talked about him during the game. He is somebody they're very excited about. They brought him up for the practice squad last week, off camera. But just great improvements from the second unit. And this is what pure dominance on the with the starters can do. It gives you your time in the second unit to develop, get time in game. And it looks like they're benefiting from that, from a lot of growth coming out of this practice. And that means it is it. We are finally done. Before you guys say anything about it, I don't want to go over the player of the weeks. I don't want to go over the award standings. We will see all of that after this game because it's going to have a lot riding on this game. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you don't remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications down below. And I hope you guys join me for our regular season finale, our biggest game of the year. we go one-on-one with the Indianapolis Colts. The AFC South leading, battle for the AFC South, battle for the number 1 seed. We beat them earlier on at the beginning of the season. We've grown so much since then. Can we defeat them now? It is time to find out. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you all then.